We're going to talk about the will of God, students. The reason, and I argue with atheists quite often because it's one of the last few intellectual, I guess you can call it that, arguments that I enjoy. I try and explain to them that God, even as an idea, is powerful enough to save humanity. And I give them the following example. I said, if you crash on a desert, let's say there's two people, there's two versions of you, you have a clone, and both of you each crash on different islands, and the islands are full of savages. And one island you crash, and they murder you because you're a foreigner and they don't know who you are. And then you crash on another island, and they want to murder you, but it's against their religion. So they don't murder you because of God. Didn't God just save your life? Forget about him being a man in the sky. Forget about the books. I'm saying, if the idea of God prevent them from murdering you, then God saved your life. True or false? No, but that's different. Why is it different? The idea of God kept you alive. God saved your life. If enough people believe in God and it makes the world a better place, then God exists. If God exists to make the world a better place and enough people believe in him and it makes the world a better place, then God exists. You don't have to worry about the book, people in the sky, all that stuff. You can just understand it basically as a premise, as an idea. It's the belief in God in and of itself, which makes it ultra powerful. And it's powerful for you as a person because you can understand that it is God's will for you to do your very, very best all of the time. People think you have to pray to God to show your thankfulness and your gratefulness. Obviously, that's a good way to do it. But another way to show God you're thankful for everything you have is to not fuck it up. I'll give you an example. If I give you a brand new Ferrari and I come back a year later and it's perfectly clean, well serviced, well looked after, then I'll say, I'm glad I gave him that present. If I give you a brand new Ferrari, I come back a year later and it's covered in bird shit and you haven't looked after it, I'll be like, well, why did I give him that present? Why did I give him that Ferrari? He hasn't looked after it. He doesn't value it. And God's the same. God gives you blessings. God gives you health. God gives you a working body. And if you don't look after it, if you don't try and become the strongest version of yourself, if you don't try your very, very best, he gets a little bit irritated with you. It's like, well, I gave him all this, and he's not even fucking trying. He's not looking after it. And that's why it's very important. You trying your best is a homage to God, and it pleases him, and it makes him happier with you. And by extension, life gets better. So let me give you an example. If I don't feel like training one day, which happens because I'm human, I don't think, well, I can have a day off because it's only a day and I'm going to look the same and no one's going to notice. I think God will know and he will be upset with me. So I have to go and train anyway. Do you understand? And by doing it, because I don't want to upset God, I benefit, of course. The universe benefits. Everyone close to me benefits because I become that tiny fraction % stronger. And it's the same with everything. If I don't feel like working, I know it is my job to please God. If I don't feel like doing a space on Christmas Eve, no, I have something to say which I genuinely believe is going to improve the world. And even though I'm a billionaire and I could be doing something else, I'm going to do this because I believe helping people and inspiring people to be their best selves is a good way to please God. So when you are at home and you are thinking, this is actually something I notice about people. When someone goes, oh, I'm unlucky. Why are you unlucky? I'm very lucky. I'm super lucky. If I had to roll the dice and get a 6 and it really mattered, I'd get a 6. 100%. I'm that guy. And they'd go, top G, he just got a 6. Of course he fucking did. He's top G. I'd say, I'm top G. Of course I did. Boom. Done. Everyone knows what I'm saying is true. It'd just be all over YouTube, top G. Why am I so lucky? Well, I'm lucky because God is happy with me. Because every day I try. All of the time. If you find yourself being unlucky a lot, then what that means is you're not trying hard enough. Now, a lot of the things I'm saying, I'm applying to God, but they are actually common knowledge, like you make your own luck. Anyone heard that? You make your own luck? That's basically the same as what I'm saying. You try very hard, you seem to get more lucky. I just look at it from a different view. I think that God is very happy with people who look after themselves, look after the people they care about, do the right thing. This is also why I never stole money like Logan Paul. Logan Paul is an atheistic piece of shit, which is why when he was offered money to rob all of his fans, he was happy to do it because he's a brokey, one, and I know that. And two, he doesn't give a shit about upsetting other people for his own personal gain. Me personally, I know that even if I pulled off a scam and never got canceled or whatever, God would know. And I don't want God to be unhappy with me because it would make me unlucky. And I think it's better to be lucky for the rest of my life than make a few $1,000,000, especially when I already have money. You have to understand that God is always watching you. This is why it's important to always do the right thing, to always be polite, always hold the door open, always give that $10 to charity, even if nobody sees it, even if you don't record it, even if you don't tell anybody. Always help that old lady crossing the road, always have a smile, always train very hard, always work hard and make as much money as possible so you can look after the people you care about. Always be honest, don't lie, don't cheat, because God is watching. And that's why these things must be done. So, when we talk about God's will for you is for you to be the best version of yourself. There is a version of you that exists which is better than the current version of you. If you want God to be happy with you, you have to show him. Let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, most of you are sitting around a 2 or a 3. I consider myself at around a 6. And I'm a 4-time kickboxing world champion billionaire who's the most famous man on the planet. And I'm 6 out of 10. Even I can be better. And that's what I'm working towards. Most of you are 2s and 3s. The closer you get to 10, the closer you get to a point where God looks at you and goes, the more blessings I give this guy, the better he uses it. He really looks after his Ferrari. His car is always nice and clean and well serviced. Let me give him more cars. Most of you are sitting around doing fucking nothing. Cars are covered in pig shit or bird shit, and you're wondering why you're not getting any more. So, this is my lesson to you. It's very important that you remember how to please God. I'm going to finish this with a quick story. Today I went to the gym. It's Christmas Eve. And I walked in the gym, and a young man came up to me, and he had tears in his eyes, looked like he was about to cry. And that happens a lot with me, because there's a difference between being famous and being someone's hero. I was in London recently, and I was walking around Harrods, and the crowds, the whole place was shut down. You couldn't even move. The crowds trying to follow me around. And my personal security also worked security some very other famous people, and they told me about an actor, I won't say who, and they said, we did it for this actor and nobody cared. And I said, yes, because he's famous, but he's not anybody's hero. He pretends to be people on a screen. That's nice, famous, novelty, cool. I am genuinely the hero for these young men, because when you're a fan of Tate, your life gets better. Every single thing I tell people to do will improve their life. Everything I tell you guys to do will improve your life. I'm telling you to work hard and please God. That will make your life better. I'm telling you to be honest and try hard and be your best version of yourself. That'll make your life better. Even if I tell you to join the Real World or the War Room, I guarantee that makes your life better. I don't try and sell you sugar energy drinks. I don't try and sell you crypto scams. I don't try and tell you to do anything that will detriment your life to make my life better. And that's the difference. All these other famous people out here, they want to use their fame so you do things and make your life worse and their life better. I'm the only one who says, if you follow Tate and obey every word, your life will become better. Your life, not my life, your life. And I do that because I know by making your life genuinely better, not in a scam, genuinely helping you, God gets happier with me and we both win. It's a win-win. So I was walking around Harrods, and it seems like I'm genuinely the hero to people. So people get quite emotional when they see me. I help them through a heartbreak, or help them through depression, or help them with a medical issue, and they come up to me and they're like, you literally saved me. Anyway, I walked to the gym today, and it's Christmas Eve, so it was empty. And I walked in, I start training. And this young man came up to me, he must have been about 24, and he had tears in his eyes almost, and he came up to me and he goes, bro, I knew you were the top G. I was like, hey man, yeah, nice to meet you. He goes, man, I just knew you were the top G. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, it's Christmas Eve, it's 6:30 in the morning. I thought I'd come to an empty gym. I walked in the gym, and it's empty except for one man, you. I was like, bro, I'll get training in every day of the year. I don't have days off. I don't believe in rest days, 7 days a week. He goes, man, top G, I knew it. And that's an important lesson. He knew how important it was to train on Christmas Eve. I knew how important it is to train on Christmas Eve. And guess what I'm going to do tomorrow? I don't care if it's Christmas. It takes 45 minutes. Get the work done. And guess who will be happy with the fact that I trained? Will I look any different? No. Will I be any stronger in a measurable way, which I'll notice? No. But I'm going to do it anyway to please God.